Are you sick of having underdeveloped arms, or more importantly, small biceps? Today I'm going to show you exactly why it feels like your arms haven't grown in months. I'm going to show you the biggest bicep training mistakes and the fix on each of them to finally get those arms pushing towards 20 inches. First up, we got you're not using enough range of motion. So training a muscle from a fully lengthened position is one of the key factors to get it to grow. And what a lot of y'all are doing, maybe not y'all, but people I see in general, putting too much weight, and they're doing here, right there. They're coming down, so my arms not even fully lengthened. I'm subbing here so that I can use more weight and just squeezing up. What you really want to do here, I envision when I come down, I want to actually actively lock out my triceps, fully lengthen that bicep, and squeeze up. Flex my tricep, squeeze up. What flexing that tricep is going to do is going to put that bicep in a fully stretched position. That's a hard stretch right there, and then I'm squeezing up. So that's step one, is always make sure you're training a big, full range of motion. Don't cheat the range of motion here. Next up, you're taking too long of breaks between your sets. So biceps, being a smaller muscle group, are going to respond way better to taking shorter rest breaks, probably on the 45-second to 60-second length as far as how long you want to rest. So you want to keep blood inside that bicep and keep the pump going, because that, again, is something that's going to force the biceps to grow, is higher volume and a good pump. So most people I see, not only with their bicep training, but just their training in general, they're taking 2 to 3 minutes between sets. They're checking their phone, they're lollygagging. That might not be as big a deal when you're training chest, back, legs, bigger muscle groups. With these biceps, they're really going to respond to those shorter rest breaks, higher intensity, more of a pump. So first thing, or the next thing up, you really want to watch that clock and go when 45 seconds to 60 seconds is up. Next up, you're training biceps too heavy. So I found after 20 years of training biceps and just in general, smaller muscle groups are going to respond to high rep ranges. High rep ranges meaning 10, 12, 15. There's only a handful of times you should be dropping below that 10 to 12 rep range, going towards like maybe 8 to 10 reps when you're doing bicep training. And those tend to be when your form is really strict and you're still getting good contraction. So what you don't want to do is start, if your form is looking like this on a bicep curl, for example, if you're here, like a lot of people are doing, the weight's too heavy. You want to be having weight on there that lets you get good control of that weight, and it's all biceps. So again, mistake number 3, don't train too heavy. Stick in the 12 to 15 rep range when you're training biceps. Next up on what's keeping your biceps small is you're not training them to failure and beyond. So when I say to failure, that doesn't mean going back to that previous that we just talked about, train them heavy. You can still train biceps to failure in the 12 to 15 rep range. And I do believe biceps, like any other muscle group, you gotta train them to failure, and sometimes even beyond if you're an experienced lifter. Some good ways to train to failure and beyond would be drop sets, partial reps, force reps if you have a training partner, or even doing supersets. I don't necessarily think you need to take every set on bicep day to failure. Let's say you're doing 15 sets, you should only be taking about 3 or 4 of those sets to failure and beyond. Those other sets should be kind of warming you up to hit those failure sets. So again, let's say you're doing 15 sets, you're doing 4 exercises. One on each exercise, you're working up to that failure set and beyond. And preferably, like we just talked about in that last point, you're in the 10 to 15, 12 to 15 rep range when you're hitting failure. If you're liking this video so far and you want to see other videos on how to get your biceps or even your triceps to grow, check out my channel. I got tons of videos on how to grow biceps, triceps, shoulders, you name it. Everything's on the channel. Next thing you're doing wrong, you're not flexing those biceps. So time under tension is a key factor on getting any muscle group to grow. If you don't come up and actively flex that bicep, you're actually decreasing that time under tension, which in turn is going to decrease the chance that it has to expand and grow. So what we want to do is focus on each rep coming up. I don't care how heavy the weight is. You can make it lighter if you need to. You want to get a good squeeze, come down. Squeeze, hard and contract, come down. And what this will also do when you squeeze, it's going to make a lighter load feel heavier. Your biceps and muscles in general don't know the difference between 100 pounds and 10 pounds. It just knows that time under tension and what it feels like by the time you get to 10, 11, 12. What squeezing is also going to do is it's going to increase that pump you get in that bicep, which again is another key factor to get them to grow. So that's the last tip I got for you, is always make sure you're squeezing those biceps no matter what exercise you're doing. So to recap, every set you need to be working in the 12 to 15 rep range, only resting 45 to 60 seconds. You want to be working a big range of motion where you're actively flexing your tricep at the bottom, and you want to squeeze the crap out of that bicep at the top. And then combine that with taking 3 to 4 sets every bicep day to failure and beyond, and you got the perfect formula to get those arms to go up to 20 inches. If you like this video, guys, and you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. As always, stay swole.